Today, uh, we will start the session. Uh, as I said last time, I'm reaching toward the end of my tenure, so I'll talk about various things that I have noticed and some of those important issues I wish to highlight where we could probably uh, together can work, and I'm sure the person who joins in will also work on these issues as as he resumes office. Ever since I joined, one of the major issues that I flagged has been the cooperative housing societies, and this has not been solved yet. This has not been resolved yet. I promised that I will send a letter to the government. I had initially sent a letter which was more to try and find a solution within the existing Cooperative Societies Act. But more and more that I have seen this situation, more and more that I have got these complaints which have come to me, I think Cooperative Society Act is not a solution, and it's not a framework in which these housing societies or the members who own the flats need to be restricted. Every day, I hear horror stories. I hear stories which are heartrending. I hear stories which actually amount to criminality by the management committee members, and in some cases by the members of these societies. Before I come, so now I have made up my mind that this is what I plan to do. I am not saying that whatever I say will be accepted, but at least I will go down in history saying that I flagged the issues and these issues are actually real. So let me just start with some of the examples. Some of the examples which have come to me. There is just yesterday somebody complained to me that there is a society. The management does not have any job. The only job that they have is to use the society funds towards their livelihood. Now, this is serious, and this amounts to cheating, criminal breach of trust, and I'm waiting for that society member to come and lodge a complaint with us. Now, as if this was nothing, there is yet another story which is even more heartrending, very shocking. There is a family which owns a house which is sea facing, and it so happens that they do not continually live in that house, and so the society through its own whims and fancies decided that, hey, this is a good flat, why don't we just take it over? So how can we take it over? Imagine, listen, they tell the owners that your wife died and I think you had a divorce which is pending in the Supreme Court or some settlement, though the house belonged to them. It has a share certificate which belongs to them. And they say no. So now, because of that, you can't even enter your flat. Your parking is all gone. Whatever deposit you gave, we are returning it. So can you believe that in the own house which they own, they cannot enter? They were told to put their guests in a hotel because they are not allowed. Some bylaw that they have made. Fortunately, this was brought to our notice. We have registered an offence. The guys have not been arrested. It's only a matter of time before we charge sheet these people. And at least we'll try and teach the lesson of their lifetime for being so greedy, for being so criminal, and in a manner that they want to take over somebody's house. And I am of the firm view that this is not a solitary story. This is not an isolated incident. This is all over Bombay. When I started talking about cooperative societies, people came back to me that you are out of your mind. An IIT colleague of mine who runs a society close by, he says, you don't understand what great work we are doing. But to all of you, I want to tell you, why was the Cooperative Societies Act made? It was made for a cooperative enterprise. I believe of a great story of Korean who made a Amul dairy out in Gujarat. They had a cooperative federation. I know stories of sugarcane industry in western Maharashtra. I also know stories of some cooperative banking, though there are huge frauds in the cooperative banking sector as well. And I have investigated one of those when I investigated cobbler scam, huge, and that's was another scam. Cooperative societies get made, and because of a particular caste or a particular sect, they get soft loans, and these cooperative societies are all bogus. And then they start getting soft loans from the banks, and that's how they work. So you see, there's a case of societies being made bogus and trying to get benefits. But here is a case where I purchased a flat, I own the flat, I registered the flat in my name, I paid the stamp duty, and I have been reduced to succumb and, so to say, absolutely obey some grandiose bylaws which have been made by the so-called constitution makers known as the management committee. The bylaw says such that at some particular time of the day you cannot enter the house. Bylaw says that if you have a guest, he can only come at certain times. The bylaw says that if you have a tenant, you cannot have the parking even though you own it. I do not know if you guys are listening, and if you thinking that as a police commissioner you are just raising concerns. Sorry, I have been flagging this and I have been registering cases. But how many cases will I register? The number of such complaints are so many in the city that you won't believe it. Every day. Now there is another story which comes to me. Imagine, a society has gone into a redevelopment agreement with the builder and the landlord. This happened 15 years back. This is a true story, 15 years back. The guys went out, rented out a place, paying rent. Their own flats, they have to vacate, they went and paid rent. Now the builder doesn't want to do it. Another developer comes. So the builder is demanding an X amount of money to walk out. And because he says, I have an agreement. And so you would rather pay this money or else stay in a rented house. Poor fellows are paying rent. And when they had their own house, where they were rightfully staying. So all this is very, very serious. What is the solution? I was saying that we could tweak the Societies Act, but I say no. I think if anybody is listening, and if I am going to be listened to, which I will do, I know people have been starting to count my days, that I have 8 days or 9 days or maybe 5 days of working. But I will find time, and I will say that the housing complexes should not be a part of a Housing Societies Act. Societies Act. The reason is very simple. These malpractices, I mean, I have a serious problem. I made a house. I got it registered. I have in my name, and for that you made a society and reduced my share, my flat agreement or my stamp paid registration certificate to a society certificate. Sorry, I mean, and then you start charging me all kind of money to transfer my flat to somebody, to sell my flat, NOCs. At least the passport part I took away. Otherwise, the passport fellows who wanted a passport also had to go to the society fellows to take an NOC. That I have removed. So what is the solution? The solution is, look, all over the world, these societies don't exist. Do you mean to say in Korea, in US, there are not high-rise buildings? There are high-rise buildings. How are they managed? They are managed by third-party maintenance or facility management companies. You will say that I am giving new business ideas. So be it. Let there be a third-party management services management company, which the majority of which everybody agrees to bring in. It comes at zero cost to you. You sign an agreement with that particular facility management company. They apportion some kind of rent or say fees on a monthly basis for providing the basic services to you. Imagine how much more your life will be simpler. You will not have to go beg. There is nothing like an audit. There is nothing like somebody coming and taking your sinking fund and building fund, using it for their own purposes. It will be your collective decision. If there is a renovation, it will be your collective decision if you wanted to change a particular company. So facility management companies exist today. I mean, there are companies which are doing it as and when the builder hands over. The builder hands over to some third-party facility management company. Slowly and gradually, the societies get made, and that's when the societies start functioning the way they are. Whatever experience I have, whatever I have seen, I was earlier also the DCP of the Economic Offences Wing. At that time also I have seen how the bogus societies were misusing all the facilities that were extended. I mean, I am currently investigating a case of a bank where societies on false certificates, on false declarations have been registered, and because of that they get preferential treatment in bidding process in various banks that exist, or the various other institutions that exist, which have been mandated to provide these kind of certain benefits or certain beneficial treatment or certain concessions to the societies of a particular type. Now imagine these societies are all bogus and they get all these benefits. So this is clear-cut case of cheating, and we have many such cases in our Economic Offences Wing. So think about it. My solution, which I think towards the end of my career I wanted to document, and I will document, is that no housing complex should remain with the housing societies. They have to hunt, and they should hunt. Obviously, the decision will remain with the tenants, with the owners. If they want to live with the management committees, if they are very beneficial to them, they can. We are not saying you should not. I mean, by the way, I am no government. I am just suggesting. I mean, this is a proposition which some of you can follow. Some of you think, no, it's too different. Don't follow. But I am saying that those who do not want to be within the Society Act, do not want to be within the ambit of the registrar, can certainly walk out and have a third-party management committee take over the day-to-day management, and their house remains with them. They do not have this problem of a NOC. They don't have a problem of a share certificate. They don't have a problem of transfer of their shares. They don't have a problem of renting it out. They don't have a problem of saying that, hey, you've been staying in the US and you cannot rent it out until unless you are here. Or by my whims and fancies, I say that your parking, I don't want to give it to you. Hey, take your deposit back, and that's it. I mean, this will not happen. Again, I'm not saying everybody is bad, but quite a few are bad. And I mean, I can tell you, I get about 5 to 6 such messages every day from citizens of Mumbai. So, whoever is listening, whoever is talking, please think about it. Right from day-to-day maintenance, day-to-day management of your housing, of your house, to a future development where the management committee enters into agreement with somebody at rates which may be many times more than the market rate, or at times where a builder that they entered into agreement with has silently and quietly said that now I don't want to walk out, I want to walk out, and this is the amount of money I want. So this is going to be a serious problem. So that's what I want to talk about the societies today.